Hello everybody, I'm back. I haven't uploaded in a while. I've just been really busy with my job. It was really, the last 6 months it was really sucking the life out of me. I have a selection of a bunch of soldering irons. These are USB powered soldering irons, and one of them is battery powered. So let's review them. Okay. You've probably seen this one. Dave from EV Blog and Big Clive said that this was an awesome soldering iron and that it can do the job and yada yada yada, but as you can see, this is used and I don't like it. Well, I'll show you why, but I really don't like it. I'm gonna use a stand for all of these soldering irons, and I'm going to do the same test to all three of them. I'm going to measure temperature to every single one of these soldering irons, and if they have selectable temperature ranges, I will see how accurate are they. I believe that this one doesn't. No, not only I believe, I know that this one doesn't. That's why I don't like it. Also, I'm going to be using this USB multimeter. It's actually not a multimeter, it's an ammeter and a voltmeter, to see how much power do they draw. Let's start with this one, suspect number one. Let's power it on. Goes in. I mean, it feels secure, but I don't like this connector. They really should have went with USB-C or this one. The other part goes here. I have the generic USB charger. It has quick charging capabilities, as you can see. And we'll put it in. And the moment I turned it on, it draws 5 volts and 1.5 amps. Now that's pretty toasty. That's pretty toasty, and I can smell the flux from the old solder. And yeah, you can see the flux from the old solder. It has a capacitive touch switch here, so if you touch it, it cranks the heat up. It starts drawing 1.5 amps like crazy. But the reason that not a lot of people buy them, and the reason why most of these soldering irons are not very popular on the market, is very simple. It's that most of them just don't have enough power. They try to compensate it by when you touch the capacitive switch. I touched it, and it goes toasty. It goes apeshit. And then it heats up at really high temperatures. And if you're soldering something on a printed circuit board, you're going to be lifting the pads up, probably. And we will measure that with my thermometer, with my thermocouple, and we will see if I'm right or not. I'm just hoping that one of these irons just changed my mind. I don't know. I still think they're unusable garbage because of this one. This one ruined 3 circuit boards of mine. I liked it because it had a very fine tip that can deliver heat, but I lifted the pads. I had to scratch the solder mask from the circuit board and do the repairs manually with my large soldering iron. See? I apologize for the crappy sound in the last shot. My recorder just stopped working. I don't know why. And I hope that you can appreciate the quality of sound that I'm putting out now. Let's measure the temperature. Now you see that it's powered by 5 volts and it draws 1.5 amps. Now let's see its temperature. Let's see if I am right. And yeah, and the capacitive switch is a bunch of hooey because I literally just moved it without touching the button and it turned on. I don't know what's the deal. Let's add a little solder. Okay. That amount of smoke, nah, it doesn't suggest to me that it's anything good. Okay, let's measure the temperature. I'm hoping that you can see that. It's still heating up. It's still working at 1.5 amps. And it stopped. And when I touch it, it starts working again. And it starts cranking the heat. I believe that this one goes to about 400 degrees. Yeah. Because as you can see, the flux is completely melted. Yeah. This is 400 degrees. This is 400 degrees. No doubt about it. Yeah. It's not. It says that it's 370, but it's not. It's higher. See, it keeps rising. The smoke here is my witness. Do you see the amount of smoke? That means it's overheating. That can only mean that it's overheating. I'm going to turn it off. Well, the reason why this soldering iron caught most of the attention of YouTubers and the media in general is that it was one of the first. It doesn't have selectable temperatures, and it works the way I suspected that it would. It says 8 watts on it, and let's be honest, that's not powerful enough. And the way that these soldering irons work is that they need to overshoot the temperature so that when you touch the metal part, the temperature gets dissipated very fast. And since it's not powerful enough, it cannot recover very well. So I don't like it because it overshoots. And when you touch a pad on a printed circuit board, you're gonna lift it up, buddy. You're gonna lift it up. Believe me, I've done it with this one. This one is hot garbage. I don't like it. No selectable temperature, no good. I can only see this iron being used by electricians who just happen to work somewhere where there's no power and they need to solder some wires or something, and they have a power bank and they need to solder some huge gauge wire. It's useful for that. You can absolutely use it for that. But for fine electronics or, God forbid, micro soldering, no. I do not recommend this one. Just skip it. The next suspect is this one. The hand skit soldering iron. Unlike the last one, this one has selectable temperatures. And you can set them by touching this button. You hold the button for 2 seconds, the switch, whatever, and it turns green. If it's green, it's from 330 to 350. If it's blue, it goes from 370 to 400, which is really high. And which is when it's red, it goes from 430 to 450, which is extremely high. And this is only for high gauge electrician work. This is not for us. But can this temperature range be used by us? Let's see. First, let's put it here and check how much power it draws. Now I'd like to point something out that this soldering iron and this soldering iron don't have the same tips. They're similar, but they're not the same. The battery powered one has the same one as this one. But yeah, that's just a fun fact that I wanted to point out for no particular reason. So let's see how much it draws. Okay, so it has a micro USB connector on it and it fits really snugly. Let's see how much power it draws. And whoa, it's green. Does my charger keep overloading? I think it does. And here it is. It's melting solder. It's good. And it doesn't heat up as fast as the last one. But it's melting solder and it's very well. It draws about 1.6 amps. Let's check the temperature. Okay, that's too much smoke for 330. But let's see. How high does it go? Let me get some more solder on it. Now, if this is accurate, let's see. It still keeps climbing fast. But seriously now, if this is accurate, then this soldering iron can be used for electronics. And since it didn't pass 300 degrees C, it's going to pass, but it's not going to go to 380 or something crazy. Okay, let's check out the other function. And it's blue, and it's medium temperature, and it's about to go higher, right? Let's see. It climbs really fast. I'm going to give it a chance to do so. I'm going to give it the same amount of time. Yeah, it climbs up much, much, much higher. And it goes to 370. Okay, let's check the red. The red climbs even faster. Okay. I mean, it should. Let's see. Maybe I'm just exhausting it too much. I'm just overloading it. Let's see. Boom. Come on, baby. Yeah. Yeah, it goes to almost 400 immediately. Nah. Now let me just clean this. Okay. Now let's see how long will it take to get back to green. Okay? To green temperatures. Green temperatures are good. They're usable. Let's see. I mean, it needs to dissipate all that heat somewhere, so let's dissipate it. Okay. Yes. It's gonna get to 300. But that's about it. Now, this one I like. This one seemingly can be useful for electronics and even micro soldering. Let me turn it off. I don't like the way it turns off. Let me just tin it. If you take a closer look, I mean, the tip is really fine. And if it can really deliver that much power, it can be useful for micro soldering. And I can touch it here, which would make my hand close to the workpiece. So this one I like. This one has a big plus in my book. Seriously, I'm not joking. This one is really good. First of all, it doesn't turn on by me just bumping it, you know. That's number one. Number two, it has selectable temperature. Unlike this piece of garbage, it draws the same amount of power and it doesn't go completely apeshit with heat. So you have some control with it. One thing extra that is a complete plus for me is that this is flexible silicone cable. So even if I accidentally touch it with this hot iron, it's not gonna get completely burned. Which in my book is amazing. It's awesome. I love it. It's great. I like this soldering iron, and this one has a plus in my book. We'll check it out later. Now the third suspect is this one, and this is a battery-powered soldering iron. I like the idea of it. I just have no clue if it's any good. By design, it's really similar to the last one, and it has selectable temperatures, but you don't really select temperatures, you select the voltage it'll work on. So there's probably a potentiometer, and you choose the voltage. Let's see. Let's check it out. Let's do the solder. I'm sorry, Mr. Carlson, but that is your trademark. Solder. Let's see if it'll melt. Solder. You need to turn the machine on by pressing it 5 times in 2 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's on. It's kind of confusing to work. And then you press it to start working. Right? That's what it says. but it's not working. Let's see if it heats anything up. I mean, the machine says that it does. It is heating it up. Man, it is heating it up. And it's melting solder. Oh my God. And to turn it off, you press it 5 times in quick succession. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it's off. And then you can press it, you can do whatever you want with it. That is actually good. It's a good safety feature because if you carry it in your bag or in your pocket, you're going to definitely burn something. What are the chances that you're going to do this in your bag? And now it's on. Okay, let's check it again. We're at the lowest setting. It's 3.3 volts. Okay, let's see. Bada boom. We're holding it, and yes, it's climbing fast, and it's melting solder, and it's going very well. Let's crank the heat up to the next level, which is 3.7 volts. Okay. 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 This is 200 something. Now this is too low for soldering. Okay, let's set it to the next setting, which is 4.3 volts. Okay. Now this is probably going to be wild. Let's see. It is recommended that you press the button for about 7 to 8 seconds and not longer. Okay, now this is workable, but it's going to get to 300. So somewhere in between is the ideal working temperature. But yeah, this is 300 degrees. This 300 degrees 100%. This is awesome. This is very good. Let's see how high it goes. Let's crank it up to the max. Okay, 4.8 volts. Yeah, this is nuts. You can see it by the smoke that it is nuts. Yeah, this easily goes to 400C. Yeah, this is not usable, but. Yeah, and you can see by the smoke. It burns flux too fast. So, okay. Not usable at its max, but at least it has selectable temperatures. So, I used it at 3.8, right? I used it at 3.8. Let's do it again. Let me just dissipate the excess heat right here. Okay. Let's press the button again. Okay, and it's climbing pretty quickly, but this is workable. Let me crank it up a little bit more. You don't have to crank it up to 2. 4.3, you can crank it up somewhere in the middle. So between 3.8 and 4.3 is your ideal. So let's see. Yep. Let me just clean it. Yeah. This is actually the temperature that I like working at. 250 to 300C. Nice. I like this one. First of all, it's portable, and second of all, it has a much more fine selection of temperatures than this one. Okay, now let's try to do something with them. For the sake of brevity, let's not test this one. I'll show you later why not. This is the circuit board, the SMD circuit board I use and abuse on a regular basis. So we're gonna use and abuse it again. So we're gonna try to use these soldering irons to solder some SMD components. Now, keen-eyed of you may see this and this. Those holes in those pads were lifted by this bastard. So yeah, I'm not gonna use it. It's garbage. I do not recommend it. I've seen recently that there are versions on the market like these that have temperature control. But for the same price, you can get this one or this one, which I recommend a lot more. Seriously. So just don't bother with this one. This one, nah. If you're an electrician, get it. If you want to do micro soldering, or not micro soldering, fine electronic soldering, like I do, don't bother. Please, just don't. Just don't. Okay, first we're gonna test the hand skid. So we're gonna use its lowest setting and we're gonna try to solder a resistor right here. I apologize for the mess. I really don't have a regular place where I record these videos, so yeah. I'm gonna have to make do with what I have. Okay, it's green and it's on. And let's see, will it lift the pad first? Okay. No, but it won't. Okay. Okay, nice. Nice, that's a plus in my book. Let's try to put some solder on that pad. Nice, that's a lot of solder, but don't mind me. Okay, can I remove the excess? Nice. Nice, I removed the excess. Great. Okay. Okay, it's good. Let me flip the board so I can add some more solder on the next pad. And that's it. If you ask me, I'd call that soldered. I'm sorry for the bad soldering job, but I'm doing this through the camera lens. I will get the microscope very soon. I've ordered one. I just need to get it, you know. So I don't have to look through the camera lens. Okay. One more. Just to make sure that it wasn't just blind luck or that I don't recommend you a piece of garbage. Okay. This is great. This is actually good. Let's take it from this side. You might see it a bit better. Okay. The tip. Okay, I'm gonna wick it out later. But yeah, it was no accident. I soldered that one very well. I'd solder both of them very well with this one. Okay. My final verdict for this one is that I do recommend it. It's good. And if you want a micro soldering alternative, because you probably don't have one, get it. I'm going to be using it for micro soldering for the time being until I get a proper micro soldering pencil. I mean, I'm sorry, I live in a part of the world where spending $100 on a soldering station is not that smart, especially since I'm not making a living from this one. So yeah, cheers and thank you very much, brother. You are good. You're very good. Let's try the battery powered one. I'm interested in this one. If you are afraid that you might destroy the tip, just get some acid-based tip cleaner, like this one, and just dip, 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 dip. People say that it's acid-based, but it actually stinks of ammonia. So it's not acid-based, it's ammonia-based. But yeah, your tip is going to be good as new. You don't want to be breathing this. I'm sorry, I'm a chemist, and I've breathed through a lot of ammonia. And yeah, thank God, still alive and well. Good as new, baby. Good as new. Done. Okay, let's turn this one off. Done. Okay, so this suspect is next. This is not a line of cocaine, it's just a line of this stuff. So don't worry about it. I'm gonna need it to clean the tip. Let's turn it on 5 times in quick succession. Come on, man. Okay, it's on. Let me first clean the tip. Okay, let's try to do the padlifting test first. Okay, will it lift? The better question is, will it melt? Okay, it melted. Will it lift the pad? Will you lift the pad? And the answer is no. That is awesome. Okay. Okay. I'll solder 2 resistors like on the last one. Okay. Sorry, it's out of your view. Let's sharpen it up a bit and let's go to town, baby. Come on. Melt, damn you. There it is. It's number 1. Maybe I should get some finer solder. Will you wait for me a moment? This solder wire is much finer than the last one I've used. Let's see. Come on, baby. Tend yourself a little bit. Yes. Good. That's good. Nice. Let's touch up this side. I actually like the battery powered one better. Okay, let's melt this stuff. Come on. Melt, damn you. Melt. Good. Let's use the fine wire. This is so amazing. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay. I like them. I like them. Let me just service the tip with this line right here. And if we're honest, this tip is not looking bad. Let me just tin it a little bit because it should have some solder on it. Okay, just for all of you negative Nancy's who don't believe me that this one is not usable and they think that I'm a shill for those two companies and they sent me the soldering irons for free and then I'm just selling you a product and then I think you guys are sheep who need to be used. Let's settle that once and for all. Okay. Okay. The padlifting test. Will it lift the pad? What do you think? What do you think? Oh my God! It lifted the pad. Where's the pad? What happened? The pad is on the iron. It lifted the pad. It's useless, it's junk, it's garbage. Save your money and don't get this one. Like I said, the reason Dave Jones and Bill Clive advertised these is because they were the first ones on the market and they were like $5. Don't get them. Not even the new ones, the temperature controlled ones. This is garbage. Yeah, guys, and for the record, I bought these all by myself with my own salary. And this is not a sponsored video, but I recommend 2 of these. I recommend you have both of them. This in your workshop as a potential micro soldering tool before you get the real one. And this one so you can use on the go. Just a safety pro tip, just disconnect the heating element before you go anywhere with it. Yeah, I recommend all of them. They're worth the price. This one was $15 and this one was $10. I actually like both of them. I like the battery powered a lot more, but I cannot in good conscience recommend something that is battery powered and that has a very limited battery life. I mean, I didn't do a battery life test, but it produces heat, which means that its efficiency is probably garbage. So yeah, thanks for watching. If you were interested in these, and which one should you buy? These ones. They're on AliExpress, available right now. I'm not shilling. Those are not affiliate links. I'm not gonna leave any links. Just find them all by yourself. You're big boys and gals, and you can do it. So, thanks for watching. Thank you very much, and I hope that I really won't have any long periods without uploading. Thank you. Bye bye, and I love you all.